Hello again. Thank you so much for tuning in to our very first episode of Fear and Spirits. We're very excited to finally be doing this, to be able to give our guests a platform to talk about those unexplainable moments, those paranormal moments that I know everybody tuning in is very excited to hear. Tonight, our very first guest is a very creative and successful individual who I honestly admire a lot, and who I have had many paranormal experiences with. My brother, Hector.
Hello, thank you so much for inviting me. I'm so excited to share most of my experiences, or not all of my experiences. Hopefully we have the time, but stay tuned.
Yeah, thank you so much. So if you could tell people, if you have anything going on and where to find you, that way they can follow you on your socials.
Well, my social media is, if you want to follow me, is TechForever13. I'm the technical theater specialist. Oh, is that? I'm the technical theater specialist at college, soon to be production manager.
Awesome.
We recently had a musical going on there called The Little Mermaid. Pretty sure everyone knows about The Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
And right now the theater's dark. We'll be back hopefully in October once the renovations are done.
So yeah, if you like any theater stuff, especially here in the Laredo, Texas area, please give him a follow. He'll definitely hook you up. So as part of the experience here, we are always going to have a spirit present. Tonight's spirit is Jack and Coke. And yeah, it's a classic, but a goodie. Yeah, just comment below if you add any other things to your Jack and Coke. And with that, please grab yourself a drink, grab yourself a snack. Don't turn off the lights because it's gonna get scary. So, question for you. Do you consider yourself a person who gets scared easily, or someone who doesn't get scared at all?
Well, I'm not the person who gets scared. I actually like the paranormal, so I actually like to chase the ghost, if I can put it like that. But I like to investigate more and instigate more about why is that presence there? Maybe it's not just a ghost, it's someone from another dimension or something like that. So
Dimensions
will be, I don't know. It's just like it.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way where I will get really scared, really, really scared. I will feel the fear, but my outside self is like, what are we doing? Who are we punching? How are we surviving this? It just clicks. And then afterwards, I'm like, what the hell just happened? So, do you have any stories that you feel more comfortable with starting with, or anything that?
Well, stories here at the house.
But yeah, by the way, we're at our mom's house, and this place is actually really haunted.
Well, yeah. What had happened is that my grandma, who rest in peace, she did a lot of how can you call it? In Spanish, it's called limpias, if you can put the translation there.
Yeah.
But basically, she did all that, and that I guess that attracted a lot of ghosts or a lot of entities that were not supposed to be here. And
so, the people left behind.
Their fears or whatever they were stressed on and all that, and it was it was kept here at the house. So, and that kept us awake because we had that lady. I guess you remember the lady, or it was, I don't know if it was a guy, who was always walking the hall, every single time.
Yeah.
And it was every single night we would just at around 2 a.m, we would just hear the if a sandal was scratching on the floor, and we would just hear it was not actual steps, it was the scratching on the floor.
Yes. So I'm a very light sleeper, and I think I've told you this before, and I've told our mom that I would wake up in the middle of the night and I would just be like, shut up, let me sleep. because I couldn't. It would literally be so loud that it would wake me up. And it was like, we call it what, the chancla lady?
Yeah, we call it the chancla lady. And it was not only that, there was other stuff. There was like the lemons on the sink, or the limes on the sink, and you will go and check, and there was no one there, and then you will go back and you will hear them again. So it was.
But how would they sound like? Because I think I'm not sure, but I don't think I heard those.
Well,
I think it was you and Mom who said
it was described as limes or lemons on the sink because that's how it sounded.
Yeah.
Like if someone was dropping limes on the sink and
like boom.
Yeah, they would just like bounce off of the sink for some reason, and then you will go and check, and there was actually nothing in there. So yeah, it's kind of fun to know that there was something, but
yeah.
And we actually had that time where we saw like this little entity light in front of us. We were at the kitchen, and it was like it wasn't even nighttime. It was just kind of like the sunset or something like that. And through the window of the kitchen, you were in front of me, and then there was this little entity light that went like this and went outside.
Yes.
And
yes,
so,
I remember that. That was crazy. And we didn't see it again. At the end of the day, we were like, it was probably just like a little bug or something that, we were trying to explain it away, but it honestly looked like misty. Like it was.
Yeah, it was
like a little orb almost.
Well, at least it didn't say, "Hey, listen."
Yeah. So do you have any like darker stories?
Darker stories, actually not here, but at work. Where I work is a theater. And we have a big auditorium, 749 people, if someone asks. And then up top there's the booth. We have the main stage and all that. And in every single room of that theater, something happens. It has its particular ghost. I can start with the shop where it has the guy who's always looking at you. We have these two big doors, double doors, big doors.
There's a guy that's
yeah. Let me explain, because you start doing builds and all that for your show. And if you start using heavy machinery like a saw or anything like that, like the table saw, or screw guns or whatever, he looks, and we've noticed that he's looking to see if you're okay.
So it's like a Casper,
something like that. But then we tell him, "Oh, we're good. We're not in trouble or anything like that," and then he leaves, and he's not there anymore for that day. The darker one is that one of my coworkers and myself stayed up to 3 a.m. finishing the final details for a play that was gonna be the next day. The next day was actually opening night, and then we stayed there. We were finishing some stuff. We went on stage because we needed to set up some stuff on the builds we already had, and then we heard like kind of La Llorona kind of scream.
Oh my God. By the way, I don't know if you guys geographically know where we are, but Laredo is right by the Rio Grande. So, I mean, just keep that, And also, the college that you work at is really close to the Rio Grande.
It is really close, and it was a fort.
Yes. So please tell us a little bit about like the little history about it that.
Well, it was. I don't know so much about it. All I know, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I just know it was a fort during the Second World War.
Okay.
And that's about it. There's
a very old place in Laredo.
Just if you look at of all the pictures that were taken before it was a college, you can see like it takes you back in time.
Yeah.
And actually,
even just being there nowadays, it looks like an older, like colonial little town.
There's some buildings that were left from back then. Most of them were turned down and built into new buildings. And depending on the administration and all that, they create new buildings. But they have kept some of the buildings there that were history and or they're historical to the college, so they will keep him there.
Yeah, nice. But you were saying that you and your coworkers stayed there at 3 a.m.
Well, on like all the way till 3 a.m.
Oh, okay.
Because at 3
I thought that
a.m.
was intentional. Like, why do you want to be there at 3 a.m.?
It's because we didn't know. We just thought that we were going to stay at an hour. But then since all the details that we had to do took more than that, it ended up being 3 in the morning. As we got out to the stage, then everything went south because we hear that moan of La Llorona inside the theater. And that was our cue to be hey, it's time to go home. So, yeah. And another one that happened to me actually was at the shop. I was building something, as we call it, Broadway flat. And I was building one of those. As soon as I finished, I decided to take a break. I was tired, so I went to the green room and grabbed myself a soda and a snack. Went back to the shop and started eating my snack and my soda. I felt like I was petrified because I don't know, like at some point I felt petrified and I didn't know why, and I just feel like I couldn't move. All of a sudden I see this shadow coming towards me, and it was a guy with khaki pants and a black shirt and like a kind of a curly hair.
Just like a regular old...
Yeah, and it was coming towards me and I couldn't move. I was just looking in my peripheral. And then as soon as I was able to move, I just ran away because that thing was getting close to me. And
like he was actively like going after you, or...
It was walking towards me. I don't to this day I don't know if he was intentionally walking towards me or he was just walking there because in his time he walked through there.
Oh, so I want to ask, like, did he look transparent, or like did he look like he was out of place, like in time?
He looked like he made a warp in time. He looked like he made like a warp, and then he was there in my same time as me, and then we were just both. But I got petrified. Basically, I couldn't move because I guess it was his time to do his move. And
because like, you know, I'm at work and sometimes I see people, and we're like, at my job we have a lot of interns, and sometimes I don't know the new people that come in, so I'm like, who's that new person? So if I see someone new, I don't even think about it twice. I just say like, oh, that's a new person, you know. But what made you like think it was a person from like another time, or
the one that gave it away? It was he was wearing boots out of this time, pants out of this time.
What do you mean? Like from back then?
From back then, from 1920s, 1930s. I don't know. Like
he just looked off.
He just looked off, and he just looked. Yeah, it's not from this time. And we actually looked on the books, the old books, and we found the guy.
Holy.
Yeah, we found the guy.
You found his picture?
We found his picture. And it was the same guy I saw walking towards me. And yeah.
That's crazy.
So we actually investigated at the college, and we got his, I remember we got his name, but I don't remember it now. But yeah.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I would have, I mean, knowing myself, I would still go back to work, but I wouldn't go back to work the same way. You know what I mean?
Since it's a place I go every single day, it's just stuff we see all the time. It's
so
normal
you're just
to us.
used to like the crazy.
Yeah, because now every now and then, especially during Halloween, we're gonna see this little kid that we named Toby. He's dressed in a sailor suit, and he runs in the auditorium back and forth.
Maybe he's related to the chancla lady.
Maybe, I don't know. But he always like, some people see him running around, and some people see people running around in the booth, which there's almost no way you can run in the booth because of all the equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Yet, like there was a police officer who actually pointed his flashlight up because he thought he saw someone running
the
booth.
And, like actual officers of the law.
Yeah.
Lord Christ.
And so, yeah, a lot of people have been spooked at the theater. We even got ghost hunters in there. So they went and investigated, and they got a picture of. There was a set that we had created for a play, musical called Cyrano. Mm-hmm. Well, it was a play we made it. Our previous director made it into a musical.
Mm-hmm.
So they went on a tour, and then they got a picture of the set, and on the set, there's a little kid just laying on the set as they took the picture.
What?
And so, but there was no one. It was everyone had gone home.
So did
already.
They see this after they took the picture?
They showed us the picture. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They showed us the picture afterwards, and like a few weeks later, and when it got released, and yeah, you can see that little kid just laying on the set.
Oh my God! Honestly, some of this I don't think you've ever told me. I remember when you told me about like how like y'all found a little door, and there was like a chair on the other side of the room.
That little door, it was actually from LA. It was not from this.
Oh.
Yeah, this little door is not too close to the paranormal, but it is weird because it's a little door.
So I guess explain us what you were like, the area, what you were doing, or
well,
like...
the theater was called or is called El Caminito Theater.
Okay. In California.
In California, and at the LACC Theater Academy, and what they had there, it was this little. They had all the equipment for the lights and everything. It wasn't a big theater. It was hold like 90 people or 100, something like that. And that little door was always closed, but this one day it was open. And so I opened the door, and it was like a huge place. Like it was, and what made it weirder is that it didn't make sense because that little door was there. It was there, and then below it was a roof. So door, roof, like that.
Like Coraline?
Yeah, it was because when you
not a sponsor.
When you go down it, like down the stairs to go back to the stage, it's a roof, and there's lighting up the area or the hall or anything like that.
Yeah.
But this room looked like it was going down, like a
slide or a tunnel.
No, like it was just open and dark.
Okay.
And so yeah, I didn't like. I guess since I had to work, I didn't have much time to investigate.
Yeah.
And that was the only time I saw it open. Because next time it was locked again.
What?
Yeah.
Like.
So I guess something called me or anything, and they wanted me to go in, and probably I will never get out again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw it.
That's really creepy.
And there's another place here in Laredo called it just got renovated. It's called the Civic Center.
Oh yeah.
And so, actually, the MFA staff went there to work on an event, and we helped them out. We took our stuff. We took our equipment. I was in charge of the lights and all that, and then so I had to focus on lights up in the grid on the catwalk. And what's it called? There was a little chair there with a doll.
Oh my God.
And that was not like, it didn't scare me, but I was just like trying to figure out why there was, and it was just it's not a space where you can walk. You have to actually crouch.
Lord.
And there was a chair with a doll for some reason. And so yeah, it was really.
What was your first thought like when you saw that? Like, oh, that's not creepy at all. Like
kind of like that. I was just like, cool. There's a chair with a doll there. It's like, I don't know why. Let me just keep on focusing my lights.
I think I would have booked it. Like,
and I mean, I told my coworkers about it, and they were like, they freaked out. Like they said that they just would have run away from there if they would have seen that. But I was like, cool.
Normal stuff.
where most of you see in the theater. Actually,
Oh my
for
God.
theater, you have to keep in the middle of the theater. You have to keep a ghost light because it said, and also this: we're not supposed to do plays or musicals or anything on Sundays.
Okay.
Whoever disrespect that, the ghost will get mad. Because you're supposed to leave the ghost light and Sundays. The ghost light's every week, and also on Sundays off, because that's the week is when. And correct me, audience, if I'm wrong, but what they told me is that the weeks is for the ghost to rehearse. Sundays is for the ghost to present their show to the other ghost or their play.
Well, I mean, I'm not in the theater or anything. I didn't know this.
But yeah, this is something, an urban legend that has been running through theater. You're not supposed to whistle either in theater, because there was a story in a ship where to say the cues they will whistle.
Okay.
And then a person from the audience, an audience member, whistled. Someone let go of the fly system and something fell on a sailor and killed him. So whistling was prohibited from theater ever since then. To call cues. So there's a lot of stuff that you're not supposed to do in theater. There's a lot of urban legends.
That's freaking crazy. Oh my God. So they just didn't like let people whistle?
Well, it sounds funnier than it actually went. I mean, actually, it just that story was one of the ones that that came up.
Yeah.
Telling stories, and it's actually, I mean, to theater people, like, I mean, it's actually really sad to hear that, because it's
Of course.
like it's
And it means something too, because, it happened, like, what if it was your show?
Yeah, what if it was someone close to us and it just happened like that? I mean,
that's crazy.
There's another story. This one, I'm gonna go more in detail about it, because it's actually one that, like, basically it affected every single person from the theater. I mean, meaning whoever works there, not every single person that attended.
Yeah, because they probably don't know. Like, people who are in the audience, they're watching a show, they don't know.
What had happened is that we had a play going on, and we were letting people in. It was a night show, so it was around 7. The show starts at 7. We let people in at 6:30, always a half an hour early. Mm-hmm. And as we were letting people in, I was in the booth. I was getting everything prepped. We were going through the pre-show music, all of that. I was looking at the people. I was like, okay, let me supervise my house manager.
Yeah.
And I went down. I went to go check the lobby. The lobby looked like all the people were just either getting their tickets or giving the tickets to the usher to get them counted and ripped.
Yeah.
All of that. Everything looked normal. Everything was like, okay, cool. Everything is going
as planned.
It was going as planned. It was going smooth. It was just going. And I went to talk to the house manager at that time, and she told me, hey, guess who I let in to the theater? And I was like, oh, who did you let into the theater? And in my what's it called, in my supervisorial, I don't know if that word even exists, mode, I was like, did they pay?
Yeah.
But,
that always happens.
But they said no. It's actually I don't know if they had to pay, because they're the founders of the theater. And I was like, what do you mean, the founders of the theater? She's like, yeah, the people from the picture, the gentleman and the lady that are in the picture, Mr. and Mrs. Martinez, because our theater is called the Guadalupe and Lilia Martinez Fine Arts Center.
Yeah.
And so Guadalupe and Lilia Martinez are the person,
like the main people who donated and founded the.
Yeah. And what's it called? So basically, what happened here is the story went with the house manager. She was telling me, hey, guess who I let in? And I was like, what? Who did you let in? Did they at least pay? And this and that. They're the founders. So I was like, what do you mean? Yeah, the people in the picture. I don't know, why do you mean the people in the picture? Yeah, I just let them in and sat them and I was like, hey, they passed away a long time ago.
Oh
How
my
did you let
God.
them in? Yeah, I even sat them down, and I was like, okay, show me where you sat them, where they are sitting down. And then she took me, and no one was there. And
Oh my God.
she started creeping out. She just lost it. Like not lost it. Like, oh my God, like just.
Or like she was trying to like figure it out. Maybe they're in the restroom or whatever.
She was trying to figure out in her mind
Yeah.
why they were not there. But I told her they passed away a long time ago.
Oh my God, that's so creepy.
And so yeah, that's one of the biggest stories we have, and that we tell every single like if they have a tour with new students, we tell this story because
Oh my God.
it just impacted the theater so much. And I mean, I guess we're happy that they were there, but it's because I mean, because of them, I have a job.
Of course.
Like all the people there working at the theater, they have a job because of them. So it's just something that impacted us. I mean, and now since that happened, we look at the frame with their picture and we say, "Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. Martinez," every single time. And so we never want to miss it because, like, aside from being creepy, it was amazing.
But also, like, they're there and they're paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
And they're, like, down to go to the stories.
It's, I mean, I guess it's their place. It's their,
yeah.
They founded it because...
It was their passion, too, probably.
They founded it because it was their... I mean, it's inspirational to us. Because they love the arts. So that's why it was like a newborn baby, born in 2004.
Probably for them, yeah.
So, yeah.
That's so crazy still because, like, I mean, I'm sure for her it was a shock. Mm-hmm. Because she was like, oh, I just let, the people that we have in the pictures, I'm sure they're VIP or whatever. And she was like, what do you mean they passed away? It's not funny. I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because I'm nervous. And this doesn't happen like every day to people.
I just see it like as a beautiful moment if they ever there. Because like I think everyone wants to see their loved ones every now and then. And if they make a presence, they will probably, like I believe this a lot, that they were probably not in the same time frame as us. But they just happened to be there.
Yeah.
And they walked the theater in their own time frame when they were here in this earth.
Maybe they manifested because like the energies were really positive and everybody was really excited about that specifically. Yeah, I mean, and they were also excited.
And we get a lot of activity with the paranormal when we have a lot of events, and basically more when we have kids in the audience. Because kids have most of the energy.
Yeah.
And so the activity starts happening more when that happens.
Do you have any stories about like kid ghosts or anything like that? Yeah, which is always sad. Don't get me wrong.
I guess this kid was there when it was a fort, because he had a little, like I said previously, he had a little like a
vest? Or?
No, it was a suit. It was I forgot the little marine suit.
Okay,
or like a sailor.
Yeah.
Like a sailor kind of suit, and he always runs in the auditorium where people sit. He's always running, and so
that's the one you said.
Yeah, and we discovered that his name was Toby. Because one time we wanted to investigate, and my coworkers and myself just got one of those radio signal kind of things for the ghost.
It's what is it called? The high frequency box or like the ghost box?
Yeah, I never know the names of stuff.
Spirit box. Oh yes. Yeah, thank you so much for our audio guy, Steven, husband, a wife over here, but yeah. Spirit box, yes.
Yeah, well, yeah, and yeah. Sorry, I always forget the names of stuff. I don't know. I know how to use them, but I forget the name. But
Same.
going back. Yeah, we started using it, and then we were in the theater. We put the lights dim a little bit, and then we were trying to hear. We started asking questions, and he answered. But not only did he answer, someone else answered. And it was like this: "What's your name?" And we just hear like Toby, like it was echoey, and then the name.
Yeah. Or
And
like
then-
switching channels and then boom.
And then there was another creepy voice there. It says, "I told you not to talk to them." And it sounded clear, super clear. And then the little boy was like, "But I already told them." And that's when it stopped.
Holy cow, dude.
That was one of the experiences I like, a close encounter to something that was probably not there, but it was speaking to us through that radio frequency device.
I mean, that sounded like a whole freaking discussion. Like, they were there, dude.
Yeah.
They were right there.
And so, I mean, since I started being more part of I mean, not being more part of, I'm a reward that since I started becoming more in charge of the venue of the theater, I started putting the ghost light because I'm being respectful.
Because you know these things too.
Yeah, and they are around us every single time we're there.
Yeah.
And it seems like, I mean, you have to pay respect for them. I mean, it's not either they were bad people or good people. It goes the same way.
Yeah,
It's,
that's their purgatory or
Yeah, I don't. It's
whatever.
like wherever they are. I just like to pay. I mean, that's what they taught me whenever I went to LA and studied theater.
Yeah.
They always told me that you have to leave. It's a rule that you have to leave a ghost light in the middle of the stage for them to rehearse, and then on Sundays for them to have their shows. So I try to always do that. Some of the texts tell me, "Hey, do you want that light off?" It's like, no, just leave it on. It's for the ghost. So.
They know.
But yeah, some of the texts we have to explain, especially all the new ones that they don't know. They just went in there because they need a job.
Yeah.
But they like the arts, but they got to be a tech. They don't know, like.
They like to mix and stuff, but they don't know the arts, like you said. Yes.
They don't know the all the urban legends that took place within theater. There's I guess this is a question for the audience. I would like to know this because we're supposed to not say Macbeth in the theater. That's why I'm saying it here, because I'm not in a theater, but we're not supposed to say that name. So if the audience member have a clue, and they can instruct me on what happens when you say that, because they've told me the story, but it doesn't stay in my head, and so just hit us up and let us know what that
please
means.
let us know. I mean, I would be curious too, because I'm not really that much into the theater world, and I love to learn, and I would like to see what y'all experiences are. Let us know. Yeah.
So I mean, there's more to it. Like for example, in the booth, we have follow spot 1 booth, and then follow spot 2. Next to follow spot 2 is stuff for the camera crew. They have all the equipment there, and so.
Is it like a room,
It's a long room.
like a closet? Long?
No, it's just a room after another.
Oh, okay.
And they're all up into each other. They have
Oh,
doors.
like a hallway room.
Yeah, that kind of deal. And so what happens in follow spot 1 is no matter who is there, or I guess he chooses who to do this to
It?
like we know it's something because it pokes them.
Okay.
And then we hear on the headsets, "Hey, did someone poke me?" And we're like, "No, dude, we're actually running the show." So, and we're not even close to you. We're talking to you through the headset. So, and
that's what do you mean poke? Like
yeah, they poke their bellies.
Oh, like with a finger
Yeah.
or with a needle?
No, with a finger.
Okay.
No, with a finger.
Okay.
They just go like those sort of the playful ones, I guess.
Yeah.
And there's one that whistles in the booth. There's this. It happened to a coworker that works with like. Now he's a full timer. When he was a part timer, he stayed for one of the rehearsals for one of the dance teams.
Yeah.
And all the dance team crew, including him, turn like the dance team. The girls turned to the booth, and he turned to the right to follow spot 2 because they heard a huge whistle. And they asked the girls asked him if it was him, and he asked him if it was them.
Yeah.
And nobody could explain that whistle. And because
I guess he didn't go on that ship.
Oh. Yeah, and we always remember that. I mean, but the reason I went like, oh, is because I have another story. But this actually, happened to me. With, I guess I can say, it was when it happened to me with my previous boss, and not we were not in the same room or anything.
Okay.
Because
so in the college.
In the same building, the
same building where everything that you're telling right now happened.
Yeah, the theater. I was so basically I was in the booth.
But also, sorry to interrupt you. How long ago was this? Was this one of your first encounters, or was this later on?
This was later on. This was like back in, I guess back in 2018 when this happened.
But so I guess for contrast to the people, when did you start working?
Oh, 2013. I started working there. So I started in 2013. This happened in 2018. Or 2019.
So you were already very used to like the happenings and
I was comfortable.
The things and all the noises and bump in the nights and things.
Yeah, I was already comfortable with all of that. I didn't pay attention to much of it, and I would just tell them to stop because I was working. If something like that, if I heard a sound or anything like that. So yeah, I was there. I was in the booth. My previous boss was in his office, and I was working on some cues. For a play that we had. I get a call from him, and then he's like, he calls me on my phone that's up in the booth, and he's like, "Hector, what are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm working on some cues. Come down to my office, please. I want to talk to you." So I went down. He sounded pretty serious, but the day felt off for some reason. It felt like something else. I felt like I was. For some reason, I felt like I was in
trouble or something.
It felt like I was bouncing in time for some reason.
Oh.
So the story goes that so I go down to the office, and he's like, "What have you been doing for the past hour?" I was like, "What do you mean?" "Well, I haven't seen you working." I was like, I was in the booth.
Yeah, I just told you.
I was in the booth for the last hour, working on the cues for the play. It's like, "No, you were not." And I was like, and he goes like, let's create a time because I don't remember the time that was. He's like, "Since what time to what time you were there?" I was like, "Since 11 till now," which I guess it was 12, right?
Yeah.
It's since 11 till now. And then he's like, "Okay, let's look at the cameras." So there's a camera directly up in the booth.
Yeah.
He goes up all the way to that time that I told him that I was there. And then when he goes there, I am there. The camera's looking at me, and then it goes crazy on the screen,
like it glitches.
It glitches, turns red. You can still see the booth, but I'm not there. And he fast forwarded all the way to an hour that passed. Let's say he landed at 12. Right at 12, it goes crazy again, and I appear again. But I appear normal. Like when you see
you're
me,
still working.
When you see me at 11, I'm doing the cues, and then you don't see me. And then when you see me at 12, I'm still there doing the cues.
Like,
but during that, like in the middle, I was not in the video take.
What the hell?
Yeah. So I don't know what happened there. So that's why he was questioning me if I was even there working.
I'm gonna need another one of these because these stories are freaking crazy.
So, yeah.
I honestly didn't know that all of these things happened to you. Like, that is so crazy.
Mm-hmm. It is super. I mean, to me, it's amazing. I don't know how to explain it.
To me, it's amazing too. Like, did that happen to anybody else?
Not that I know of, and not during this time.
Or, like, let's say if you were to explain it reasonably, would you think maybe, because I would think, like, if I were him, I would call you down and be like, hey, did we reuse a tape? Like, maybe this is a security person question.
No, it's just the cameras are
digital.
The cameras, what they do is that they hold stuff for a week, but they don't overlap.
Oh.
It just keeps recording and recording and recording and recording.
I see.
And you can rewind it and fast forward, and keep looking at the frame that you want to see. That's all they do. They're normal cameras that just hold stuff for a week.
Okay.
But that just happened to be.
So it shouldn't have.
Yeah, it shouldn't have overlapped. The weirdest thing is that it just like glitched and turned red. Like the image was red.
Yeah.
And I was not there. And it was just my sit was there, but I was not there.
So nothing was there. It was like it was empty.
Yeah. And you can still see the booth. You can still see everything, but I was not.
But did they even like that? Was it like a video where you're there and then you leave?
No,
or was it like you were there and then next scene you just disappeared?
Yeah, exactly like you're saying.
Well, then that's the. I mean, to me, it would have been a glitch, and I would have just asked you like, "Are you okay?" I don't know. Again, I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because I'm nervous because that's incredible. Like, that shit. Excuse my French, but that shit doesn't happen to everybody.
No, it's just like, and I know it doesn't happen to everyone, and I'm just telling you because it's something that has me thinking up to this time, and it's just something that happened to me, but I didn't felt anything, to be honest. I didn't feel like I was gone.
At the moment when you were doing your cues and preparing for the show,
I was normal, and then for me it was a few minutes, but it turned out to be an hour.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, for me it was like a few minutes of being up there in the booth, and I mean, because he told me for the past hour, and that's why I was like, "What do you mean?" So, yeah, I mean, it just keeps me thinking out to this time what happened there,
and things that affect you too.
Yeah, because I mean,
you work there every day.
I work there every day, and I keep telling. Even my wife, I keep telling, I don't know if I'm in the same time frame I was a couple of years back. Like in the same, I don't know, like some Back to the Future stuff. Yeah. Like, I don't know. But paranormal at the same time.
Yeah, I mean.
The paranormal doesn't have to be about ghosts. It could also be about.
A lot of other things, yes. I know that place is a very old place. Mm-hmm. I know that it's a historical place right on the cusp of the Rio Grande Valley. I know that a lot of deaths happen there. So, I mean, if I went to school there, I would realize that it's probably haunted. Like ghosts, please
Yeah,
do my homework. You know.
there's others. I mean, there's other pictures that even campus police has showed us that about.
Oh my god!
About
Could you probably get access to those and share them? Maybe.
I mean, I'll try my best, but I don't know if I can do that. Like, cause it was just shown to us, and there's a picture that they took about of a chapel that we have there. Chapel.
Yeah.
And it's a lady, and apparently it's a lady coming down the stairs with a little girl. With from those times.
Lord Christ.
So.
But
not too scary, but I don't know if you noticed that something glitched right now.
No, I did not.
And it was the lights. The lights just went like.
No. Okay, so just to preface, our mom's house, our parents' house is super like. Well, I guess we said it in the beginning, but it's haunted. Like we know for sure that it's haunted. Tonight when we go to sleep, it's haunted because we're all staying here. But it is haunted. That we know. We know that for sure.
I guess if you want to see what happens, just comment.
Oh yeah, comment below. Let us know if you want to like to do have us do like a little ghost hunters.
Or you just leave the camera on and leave a feed.
Lord Christ, no. No, sorry, I just hit the mic, but it's because I got scared. So I have to ask you. Do you remember any of the paranormal like things that happened throughout our childhood?
Not all of them, but some of them. I guess some of them that were really specific.
Okay.
And also the one that I remember the most.
Oh, push the mic a little bit closer.
So one of the stories I remember the most is. I guess it was. I don't know how young I was. So I just know I was young, and my grandma, rest in peace, used to be a curandera, and she used to cleanse us. I guess that's what it means in English, cleansing or something.
Yeah, like I guess for people who don't understand it a lot, she was like a white witch.
Well, one time she was. I guess I felt out, like I didn't feel like it was a good day or anything like that.
Yeah.
And she basically started cleansing me with an egg, and because even my fingers, they were getting white on the sides.
Oh my
God. Because something was happening to me, and I didn't know what it was, and we didn't know what was happening to me or anything like that. All she thought about was, okay, let me do this, let me cleanse him.
Like she just like felt it.
Yeah, she just felt it, and then she basically started doing it. But when she was done, it's basically you're supposed in the egg, when you put it in the cup, you're just supposed to get a simple reading about what's going on with all the like the bubbles and all the web that it creates and all that.
So sorry to interrupt you again, but if you guys know about egg cleansings, what happens during an egg cleanse, so basically the person rubs the egg around your body and then they crack the egg into a glass and basically they read the webbing in the egg, so that is going to tell you, or it's like a little bit like a tarot reading but through the egg.
Yeah,
right?
It's just basically it's taking out the bad energy and and put it in the cup. I guess that's how it works.
Yeah.
And the difference with me, it was not a simple reading. It was not the bubbles or the spot of the web or anything like that. When she opened it and put it in the cup with water, it came out like a serpent. And she got scared. And she threw it away instantly.
Oh my God.
She did not explain what had happened. She never did. Even when I asked her. So that's still like, I have it in my mind, like, well, what did that mean?
Yeah,
what was happening? So
I mean, I know our grandma. I lived through the same things. She was always very educational with us because I at one point actually I was very interested in all of this because she lived with us and she would literally be like, "Oh, do you want to, this is what I do, blah blah blah," because that was her daily life. That was literally her job, and I was really interested in that stuff. So I asked her, like, "Would you teach me one day?" Unfortunately, she said, "I'll teach you once you're 16." She passed away when I was 15. So it never got to that point, but she would tell me a lot of stories, a lot of things and stuff like that. So it's very out of character that she didn't immediately explain or say anything about what was going on.
Yeah, it's because she with a simple reading, she will instantly tell you what was going on. With this one, she just got scared and threw it away, and no explanation. And next day, I was like nothing. My fingers were back to normal, and so yeah, so I don't know what's going on there.
That's crazy. But like before that, did you see like anything paranormal? Or,
no, I was just feeling out of it. I was just feeling like I was being, my energy was being sucked out for some reason. And because I guess, I don't know. Like, I don't know how to explain it. if I need to be honest, because I don't remember most of it. It's just like simple, like images in my head. Little flashes.
Yeah.
She, till this day, something interesting. She had said some of us that she wrote everything in a spiral book, in a spiral notebook, but no one has found the spiral notebook with all this stuff she wrote.
My theory is that our parents did find this. But I don't know if you remember when we were younger and she had just passed away. We had found some of her books on witchcraft and like yerberia, like herbalism and stuff. And specifically, so we have an uncle that is my mom's twin brother. And it was them specifically that were like, "Don't be reading this. You guys are not supposed to be reading this. Like, why are you like?"
That was the only reason we stopped.
Yeah, that was the only reason we stopped like looking into all of this. And I do believe that she did have that notebook, and it's somewhere, and they probably destroyed it.
Yeah,
because. And I would love to have my mom maybe in a Spanish episode, but because she only speaks Spanish. But they lived through it. Like, they had entities from what you would call maybe in other dimensions, probably.
Yeah, there's one time with my uncle where when he was young, my grandma told him, "Whatever you do, don't look up." And
I didn't know that one.
Yeah, they basically did a...
Oh, yes.
They basically, I guess, some sort of cleansing to him.
So this is probably a story for another episode because it's very intense. I remember which one you're talking about.
So yeah, but we have to... It has to be very detailed.
It is very detailed because I want to... Okay, so if some of y'all have theories of like witches going to a convention, Comic-Con, there's a convention for us nerdy people who like to go to that. There's a convention of witches in Mexico, and I don't know how often they get there. Sorry, Mexico witches, but this is our history. I don't know if they meet there anymore. I'm not gonna say the city or anything, but this our grandma told us that this happened at a convention in a city somewhere in Mexico. And this happened to our uncle. But we would probably leave that for another episode. Because, yes, we would have to go into extensive detail. This is a very deep story. It's very out of this world. I would say it's one of like the creepiest things that I've heard happen to a family member.
It was one of the creepiest that she ever told us, because she told us a lot of creepy stories when she used to.
Yeah. We
She
could
used to
just
hang
go
out.
through these.
She used to hang out with us when we were younger,
Yeah.
and she would just tell us, instead of kid stories, she would tell us those creepy stories,
And it was the best one.
and then we would just go to sleep with that in our
Yeah.
mind. So I don't know. I mean, you guys are gonna think that like that's crazy, but I think it's actually something that connected
Deeply with us.
and to her, and I guess that's why it makes it interesting.
Yeah.
in our lives.
And that's why we're doing this now. So, you know.
Yeah, because we like all this, so it's not something that we are afraid of. It's just something that we would like to know.
Yeah.
There's a theory that I heard. That's why I talk about dimension or time wraps and stuff like that, because something that I heard and social, I guess, not on, I guess social media. There was this person just said that, what if it is what if something dimensional is not actually a ghost? What if it is like you are in this time and this other being is in this other time? Let's say someone from the 1950s, and you see this person from the 1950s at the same place you are right now, and then you get scared, but that person that you thought it was a ghost also gets scared because that person from the 1950s.
Because you look weird.
But that person just saw you also, and they thought you were the ghost to them.
Yeah.
Because so I don't know if I'm explaining myself.
Yeah. Well, I understand. I completely get it. For me, it sounds like frequencies. Maybe like your frequency is not completely there, but it's there, and for some reason you can see it. But please let us know. We are developing this channel. We are trying to do more things for the community as far as reaching out to people that have had these experiences. We would love to have you here and hear it. So please reach out to us. There's obviously many more things that we would love to talk about, but time is not in our favor.
No.
But yeah, please comment below. Let us know. Check out the links on the description down below. If there's a drink you would like for me to try out with another guest, if there is a specific topic that you would like to hear, I would try to invite the best guest for that. And yeah, please comment. Let us know about anything that you have going on. But yeah, please give a like, do all those YouTube things. Thank you so much for having us. And yeah.
Oh, for you to have me, not having that. You just.
It's the Jack and Coke.
So yeah.
But no, thank you so much for coming. I'm sure that people enjoyed you a lot. I hope to have a part 2 so that we can talking about all of this. It was honestly a really good time. But thank you guys so much again for tuning in. I really, really appreciate it. We're really ecstatic to be doing this. But yeah, please give us a like, give us a follow, and you can listen to this in any of the platforms that you listen to your podcast as well. So good night and sleep with the light on.
Like and subscribe.
And ring that bell, yes! Bye, everyone.